6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane by to visit Glen Rock, need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
Hey guys, so this is a special episode. This was a sponsored episode by our guest. He goes by Mike Obama. Big Mike. Big Mike is here. Big Mike is in the building. No, it's a shout out. But this is a you guys can go to rcnow.org and see the tiers if you want us to talk about a certain subject, a film like we're doing tonight, artist discography, whatever you guys have in mind. You guys can email rarecandyindustries@gmail.com if you think like maybe the tiers aren't exactly explaining what it is you want us to do. Happy to strike a deal with you guys. But I am really excited for this one. We're going to be covering a movie called The Core, which is definitely RC coded. It absolutely is. I'm really excited. Before all of that, though, I want to talk about our guest here. Our guest, it's kind of rare when you go in like online circles and you see like, okay, like there's people that I agree with on like COVID, but like they like all this weird shit that I don't like. They're, not even in a bad way, but just like they're into like fucking weird bands I'll never listen to. They're into, all this other stuff. I see a guy who's pilled and just based as hell on COVID, and he's rabidly obsessed with his football team in the way that I am. Might have me beat, to be quite honest. But just an introduction to yourself. Like you are like old school radio call-in guy obsessed, which I love, Mike, with the Buffalo Bills.
Obsessed and hates his team and his head coach, which is that's what you need. That's a real fan. Exactly.
Yeah. You're not face painting. You're not one of those face painting guys. That's fake. You have to be kind of hate everything about your team to be a real fan, in my opinion.
Huge DeMar Hamlin fan. Just gonna get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Huge.
I'm a tortured Bills fan, but I mean we're having a great Bills era.
I'll say.
But I'm kind of like RC coded Bills fan, like on the outside looking in.
Great.
I don't know why, but no, I love the show, and that's why I sponsored the app.
Can't wait.
And
Thank you.
yeah, this movie is sick though.
It is sick.
Yeah.
Tell me though, like what you go. I'm still not done with the Bills stuff because you're first off, your team is good. Obviously, you have that kind of brace yourself. I'm ready to be let down like a true fan. You've been going at Sean McDermott. You make great Sean McDermott memes. Some people might not know what the hell we're talking about. That's fine. But the radio, like, do you actually call into radio shows?
I have, but they do screen the calls, and it's just you can't really get anywhere. They'll cut you off. They'll argue with you.
Hang on, didn't our whole relationship start with us giving Sean McDermott kind of some love on Alpha Beta coaches?
Yes.
And you, 13-second truther, were like, they're record scratch. Hang on. We gotta call balls and strikes here.
Oh, it did happen. I woke up one day. One day after putting out the NFL thing that we do every single year with Marcus Johnson. And I was like, yeah, obviously the Bills have sucked like my whole life. Like I was born in 1990. So like they've sucked my whole life. They get this coach that gets them in the playoffs every year. Of course he's great. Of course he's alpha. You sent me this. This is not to make you look crazy because I would do the exact same thing. But it was just this, hey dude, love the show, love what you guys did. The episode was great. Here's the thing: McDermott sucks fucking ass. His team, and it was right fresh off the 13 seconds thing had happened. It was pretty fresh off of that. Which to anyone who doesn't know, I won't bring it up. Pretty bad. But I was in my head. I was thinking like, well, first off, I love that somebody listens to the show that like gets into the weeds this much about it. So I don't feel nearly as self-conscious anytime I'm talking about it because I know at least somebody has a frame of reference. But I was laughing really hard at the because you're correct. I hate your coach now. You're so right.
Yeah, you're like a March
Yeah.
you're like a March 2020 COVID truther. Like, no, this
Yeah.
is all gay and fake, you guys. You'll
Can't unsee it.
And
You
then
can't
like
unsee it.
and we're like April, May COVID truth. We're like, oh, this guy is fucking right, and now you see it everywhere.
Yeah, you were the guy, that viral guy of saying like remember the guy that was viral predicting everything?
The gym bro.
Like, he was
the
like,
gym bro.
the gym guy. He was like, yeah, man, it's gonna be this virus from here. It's fake. And we were like, dude, all right, maybe I'm with it. You were so correct. But I know that feeling, or actually I don't know that feeling. My coaches always suck. But I was thinking like it is that special breed of horror when you're used to bad, but then you can be great, and then like you're not winning. Like you completely got that, and I've seen it come to fruition. So I really appreciate that.
I'm totally off the reservation on the Bills coach. I mean, but a lot of people have caught up to me with
What
that.
if we ran a fake punt with DeMar? It is your best meme, dude.
The best meme.
What if we ran a fake punt with DeMar?
The meme can't even like keep up with reality. I mean,
no, it can't.
We have Tucker doing like 9/11 5-part series on what really happened. But can someone please explain to me what really happened with that fake punt and why it had to be DeMar Hamlin?
And
no one can explain that to me.
Before the 50-yard line, direct snap.
For anyone, no, I'll try to put if you just don't watch football or anything. There was a guy named DeMar Hamlin who played for the Bills, and now he's become like a pretty solid player. I'm not gonna lie, like he did better than I thought he was. But he effectively died on the field in the game on the night of fantasy championships. Really caused me a lot of grief. I was like, I still love the tweet from that one black guy that went viral, and it's like deleted, and it said scrape that boop off the field. I got a game to get to. But because everybody deep down kind of felt that, like a little bit, like just 1% of that. But the next year, I want to say it's either the next year, the following year, I had something like that. But they run a fake punt with DeMar Hamlin, and it just against
in the playoffs,
of course, against the Chiefs too. The Chiefs being the benefactor of this thing. People always do their dumbest things against them, and then it gets stopped, and like that should have been talked about 100%. It's like, first off, this guy died like last year, and it's like if he's maybe he's just a stalwart special teams player, but it never made sense. It never made sense to me. But you are the person who, I love it. Like I'll see the meme is hilarious of him with like the little hat on of Sean McDermott on the tarmac. I don't know why that picture makes it so funny, but that's the perfect picture. Like it kills me. I send it to him every time. I think it's like an auto send. It kills me every time. I don't even know what you're referencing. Sometimes I didn't watch the Bills game. I'm like, I don't even know what this is referencing, but it's hilarious because I would do the exact same thing. Yeah. But yeah. Why, Sean? Why?
That picture, it was a cute little photo shoot of their travel day when they were going to play the Eagles. Yeah. And he used to coach the Eagles. Yes. And he went, there's actually like a little suit shop in Buffalo that's called Boutique or something like that. But I used to joke that it was, it's just basically where you get dolled up and like gussied up. So he did a photo shoot at this little cute ass suit shop first. And then we see like the results of it on the tarmac. And I don't know why it kind of encapsulates it, but he just kind of, he kind of presents as competent, and many such cases, across society.
Fooled me.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody like has a governor that you think is like kind of doing a good job, but then they're like, no, I live in the state. Like, let me tell you. It's like this guy. Yeah, that's kind of what I get it. And I mean, I will say the ultimate prophetic move, and it could still happen. The ultimate prophetic move would be like Lane Kiffin at USC. He gets fired on the tarmac. It's happened before to a coach. If that happens, you would be the most vindicated person ever.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for that.
No.
I think we're gonna get a statue of this guy, which is like even crazier. But a statue for no Super Bowl appearances, and dude, the 90s Bills was like my childhood. And, they made 4 straight Super Bowls. That's our only claim to fame, basically. Yeah. It was also when I was a kid, like they were the punching bag. That was like the punchline of the joke on like Jay Leno and SNL and all this shit. But that era of Bills players is still kind of like held in this huge esteem. And they're like 4 straight Super Bowls. That'll
Yeah.
never happen again. Okay, so the Chiefs have made 3 straight. If they go back this year, they'll have made 4 straight on the new Bills era's watch, who's like basically dismantling the entire 90s like lore.
Yeah. Do Bills
I don't
fans
know.
really
It's unbelievable.
rep the 4 straight Super Bowls like unironically without? Because I would be like, I'd be ashamed to bring that up and be like, yeah, we made 4 straight. You know,
That's
and, like,
all we have.
That's
we
crazy.
have nothing
I
else.
get it. I completely get it.
Yeah, remember Marshawn Lynch Bills, dude? That was fun.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Trent Edwards. I remember all those years. They were
We
a
got
good Madden
O.J.
team.
Simpson.
Did he?
Yes.
First off, Bills. Are there any Bills fans that are like, kind of like there's no way he did it?
Yeah.
No, they're more. I'm more like greatest running back of all time. I mean, I'll bark
Yeah.
up that tree.
Pretty
but
fucking badass, dude.
Okay, this is
2,000 yards in 14 games. So
not to get off into the weeds here. I know we talked about this 13 seconds, but O.J. Simpson, Bills legend, hero. There was that news story about a man getting jailed, getting sent to prison in Buffalo because he was the Buffalo water guy, and he was secretly refusing not to put fluoride in the water in Buffalo.
Base.
And his name was O.J. Simpson, and he got sent to jail for not putting fluoride in the water. And his name's fucking O.J. Simpson.
What did the OJ?
it's not O.J. Simpson. His name is O.J.
Oh shit! Okay,
He's
I was gonna say, there's
And
no
he
way
didn't,
it's OJ.
he didn't go
Simpson.
to jail. He didn't go to jail. There is a lot of like public controversy
What?
about it,
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So I got like the whole story wrong. Yeah.
but there was fluoride
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah,
Fluoride
and he was like
correct.
he was like, yeah, I'm adding it, and then like jumping it in the river or some shit, right? He was just like,
Yeah.
nah,
They
fuck this.
they discontinued adding fluoride, and then they didn't really disclose it properly.
Yeah.
The fact that they were discontinuing it, and then like Buffalo liberals found out about it, and they're like,
No,
"There's no fluoride in the water." Oh my god!
not Buff Libs, not Buffalo Libs, dude. Yeah.
They actually exist. I mean,
I'm sure I can
Damn.
see it, dude. Snow, like Hick Libs and then Snow Libs have to be right a notch below.
Oh yeah,
that.
well, upstate New York, dude. I lived in upstate New York for off and on for 5 years, and I spent 2 or 3 days in your fine city because I needed a passport ASAP, and Buffalo is one of the offices where you can get. There's like 3 in the whole country where you can get one that fucking day if you need one. And so
yeah,
I
we're
took
on
a
the-
trip.
We're on the border.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I went up to Buffalo. It was fun. Yeah, it's cool little town for sure.
I always think it looks really fun and quaint and charming on TV whenever they show like, you
Yeah.
know, people jumping through tables and then like getting fucked up and eating. I'm like, that looks great. Like, sign me up every time. So we are here to talk about the core now. Before it ties in really well with the thing I think that Cy wrote today, which you guys can check that out at rarecandy.substack.com. Chemtrails, vaccines, and Chud. Was it Chud?
Chud beliefs. Yeah.
Chud beliefs. Chud
Did you
beliefs,
like?
yes.
Did you like it? I kind of just spat
I loved
that
it.
out. I was
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But everybody who hasn't checked that out yet, please go check that out. But it really, it was funny. I was watching that movie last. I got my gears turning because I found the movie to be so pleasurable and fun. I'd never seen it before. My wife said she saw it. My wife and her dad growing up watched like any sci-fi like apocalypse movie. She's seen it, like good or bad. Just has seen it, like,
Hell
and,
yeah.
and so like that was just like what they heard, like my late father-in-law. Now he would have like his house would be so sick, dude. It would just reek of weed, space pictures everywhere, and then like anti-Obama shit everywhere, and then guns. Like that was his house, and it was so cozy and good. And he was like really good at cooking. So immediately we're watching it, and we're just like, boom, we were just memories of him, but then also like, wow, like scientists not being like deified, like in this movie, like the Neil deGrasse Tyson, Stanley Tucci scientist actually being like a hack loser, you know, and kind of like there's that clip of Delroy Lindo just saying just like actually the word for that is I don't know. It's like one of my like I was just like, what the fuck? Like nobody would. We have movies called Don't Look Up now.
Yeah.
That's what we do with science in movies now. Is like science are just these
Yeah.
angels that people like deny in the sky and stuff. But whereas everything else in the sky.
What happened with there used to be like a common thread from the whole 20th century up to the point, the era of these movies and this movie of science as a cautionary tale of like the mad scientist Jurassic Park. Like, come on, Michael Crichton, you know,
Of
and like
course. Mhm.
what happened that we just threw that out. We just completely abandoned that. That's weird.
But
Yeah.
but 13, when did you see this? Like, when did like, because I remember you and I were talking about it long before we did this. Like, you said you didn't see it when it came out. I don't think a lot of people did, judging by the box office numbers. Like, when did it come across your radar?
I don't recall like the first time I did see it, but it's just one of those that me and my brother are about the same age, and we had a huge DVD collection, and this was
Nice.
part of it. So I've probably made like all my friends watch this movie multiple
Sick.
times. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of it's entertaining. There's the high ideas of science involved, which are very unrealistic, I'd say. But I mean, I think
a little, yeah.
I think the Stanley Tucci like douchebag scientist guy is hilarious.
Excellent character. Excellent
book
character.
deals, 2 book deals, dude. I love that. Dude.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And recording the Carl Sagan monologues like during
Yeah.
the whole time is so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, why would like a sci-fi movie have to take itself so seriously?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
And DJ Qualls, the like alt-right poster hacker, DJ Qualls, with the hot pockets and
Yeah.
Xena videos to
Oh,
beat
dude,
off to
yeah.
as the request.
Best-
Incredible. Oh,
best part.
Gosh. Yeah.
I like on that note, I like how he's like, I just really love to get laid before
yeah.
And then he's like, "Do you have any requests?" He's like, "Hot pockets." I'm like, dude, ask
Yeah.
like some like,
Yeah.
come on, they probably got like top shelf hookers or something.
Yeah, let me
You
get
want
one
it?
of your
Yeah.
CIA honeypots, like just
Come
like
on.
like
yeah,
like
Cash
just
Patel's
one.
wife or whatever. Yeah, just one of those,
literally,
dude. But
just
yeah.
anybody, like just like I'll take
Yeah.
whatever. Just at this point,
Yeah.
like and hot pockets. They would do both.
They would.
So the concept
play
of the
hardball.
movie,
Yeah.
the concept of the movie, what it is very State of Fear, Michael Crichton kind of cataclysmic premise. The movie starts with lots of like dates and locations on the corner of the screen being typed out, very early 2000s. Love that. And you have people just dropping dead at like a Greenpeace event, which I was like, oh, interesting. And it was like that. Yeah, they're just in Boston. I saw a guy with a Drew Bledsoe jersey running to like. It's really funny. He's like, oh shit! Like that was really funny. And then all around in London you have birds dropping dead and stuff, and that's ruining a family's vacation. And then you have sandwiched in between this, you have Aaron Eckhart, another guy who was in everything for like 10 years, was in everything. And then is he doing anything right now? You just don't see him anymore. I don't know if he's around. He could have some show on CBS or Paramount Plus that I've never seen that he could be just doing really well. But he's really good in this movie. Has the same haircut as Hilary Swank in this, which I think is alpha when you just have sex with a girl has the same haircut as you. Always thought that was interesting. Never done it myself, despite having long hair. Somebody said that's like me when I had long hair, fucking Caitlin Clark. I didn't appreciate that. But the exactly like, but yeah, they have the same haircut, the Hilary Swank haircut, and Aaron Eckhart. But Aaron Eckhart's doing the classic, like, okay, this is a peach, and this is you. And I love the teacher, the very like hands-on teacher aspect of it. And he's just kind of like, I mean, you fast forward to the end of the movie, all he wants is a pepperoni pizza with peppers and stuff.
Extra mushrooms.
Yeah. But he's tapped on. He gets the call from the feds or whatever they are, and they're like, it's time. It's time. Meanwhile, we need you for something, which is like, it's so funny how much this movie is science teacher porn versus like not scientist porn, which I actually like more. I like science teacher porn. They're like, all the scientists have failed. Let's go to this university where this guy's just been toiling away at for years. And they go get him. I'm like, every like science teacher I ever had would have been like, of course, duh, I have the answer to this. Like, and then you also have Hilary Swank, who is landed a space shuttle in LA. They definitely,
oh my god,
were like,
I forgot about that.
yeah, and her superior is well, not her superior, but the guy who's, you know, looming over this is Richard Jenkins, who's another great character actor of that time, and you know, the Dad and Step Brothers and everything. And he's like, you're done, you're toast. Like, you, even though she was being pulled magnetic, I still don't understand the science of the movie. Whatever, not the point. It's not the point. But like, she's get pulled magnetically off track. And by the way, a black woman, Alfre Woodard, got them into space. She was like, ooh, oh shit, like, you getting off, like, this, that part felt very modern. I was like, damn, that part is interesting. Like, it was you got to have a sassy black, but again, it's not taking itself seriously. Versus now, it's like, no, she got us to the moon. She got it. She needs her own movie. You know, like, that's interesting. But it's set up to, they have to go to the core of the Earth. They have to go to the core of the Earth to stop, because the world has basically stopped spinning. And, you know, you see right away that, like, somebody might have stopped that. This isn't just climate change, or this isn't something like that. So the journey then starts there. But Sai, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was great. I think I'd caught pieces of this movie before, like on TV maybe, and I do remember the science teachers, because I was a nerd in high school. All the science teachers always invoked this movie and kind of made fun of it in like a loving kind of a way. But they were like, it would never happen. You can't go to the center of the Earth. They
would never call a sick ass teacher like me to save the world. Never. Yeah.
It's like, come on, just horse around a little bit, you guys. And but I loved it. I thought it was, very RC coded. Stanley Tucci's the gain of function guy, basically, right? Which is the crazy reveal. Sorry, spoiler alert. You know, it's like literally they caused the problem that everyone's fucking living out about, you know, and it's just, you know, and they're like, well, we're gonna fix it too.
Bioweapon, basically.
Yeah, you know, it's like, did I get that wrong? I don't know. Maybe.
No, they were the art. It's what I would say, what I loved about it was, like, okay, nowadays when the world, like, people say, well, that would never happen. It's like, well, they've already gotten you to think that the world's ending and you need to write blank checks to libtards to save the world. Like, they've got, like, that is a crazy premise in itself, and people believe that. Like, it's actually, you're supposed to believe that.
Which, by the way, didn't, like, today Bill Gates admit that climate change is fake? Like, didn't that, like, this week? They're like, literally, he's like,
right.
Which is insane. Which is such a crazy. It's just so funny how time moves and how, like, it's like the changing of the seasons. You know, it's such a slow. Crichton will never get any credit for that. You know, he'll never get any, like, oh damn, this guy was right. You know, anyway. But sorry to cut you off.
Another jar in the drawer. No, I just, I mean, like, you know. I'll put it this way. Like, if I am the guy who's like, okay, this is a problem. We have a problem. Like, outside, something's happening. People are dying. It's not just pacemakers, like they said at the beginning. It's not just people with pacemakers being magnetically pulled into the Earth. It's not this and that. And I'd be like, so what? This happens in the movie. So what do we do? You pause and insert me into the general's position. Like, I would like, nowadays you'd get somebody go, well, we should get mad at everyone who doesn't vote Democrat. That's the first rule. We should get really mad. We should say that, and we should put this climate change thing behind emergency glass. So whenever we lose arguments, which doesn't happen, but let's say we are losing an argument, we can pull the emergency glass and go, climate change, the world's ending. How do you feel about your politics now? Republican. And then you yell at your neighbor for their truck choice, their, I don't know, whatever else, while you eat every meal out of a takeout container. You know, just things like that. Just create endless plastic in the world. What I love about this is how this movie just bros out, where it's like, if I'm like, yeah, man, that sounds like a big problem. What do we do? And the guy goes, let's go to the center of the Earth. I'd be like, yeah, endless money. That I want to see. Live stream yourself going to the center of the Earth. I don't care if it works. Like, that's just that's a sick idea. And who knows? It probably doesn't work. It probably is bad science, like they say on Reddit about this movie. Didn't you say there were people still to this day like debunking this movie as though it needs to be?
Yeah. There's some kind of organization that was created, like, in the wake of this movie, that was intended to get, like, more accurate science into Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dustin Hoffman was involved with it for a while.
Why?
And there's a bunch of, like, articles that are still on the internet that you can read that say, like,
Dustin Hoffman's trying to figure. Dustin Hoffman was told the real reason why his Rain Man character had autism, and he's like, "No, that's not it."
They're basically like, well, a good example of science is like The Day After Tomorrow, and like a bad example is The Core. Like this is from like that era, so I'm a little bit older than you guys, but like the climate change propaganda that was just so heavy, in my formative years, and all the way up until like we said like 2 weeks ago, convincing people not to have kids and not like settle down because nothing matters anyway. I remember, I grew up snowboarding in Buffalo. There's like hills around here,
shredding,
and at a certain point in my 20s, I was like, I don't know, like I'd rather just play basketball because it is getting a little bit warmer. I'm like, there's no future in this sport. Like it's too depressing. Like the snow's not as good as it used to be. And I was kind of bought into the climate stuff for like a long time, but like I think a lot of people, just the promise of like ultimate disaster just does not seem like it's getting warmer. Yeah, I kind of agree, but it's nothing to fret like crazy about. But this era of like, oh well, movies can't just be movies, they have to be scientifically accurate, which is just so ridiculous. It's a journey to the center of the earth. It needs to be why would it need to be scientifically accurate?
Yeah, and also by scientifically accurate is a euphemism for politically correct, and like whatever that means. Right. And yeah, I see it as like a Jules Verne 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea thing, like which was sick. When I was reading that when I was a kid, I was like, this is the sickest thing I've ever read. And even then, when I knew, I was like, this is probably not feasible, especially for the time it was written. But it's like, yeah, I do. It is interesting how they visually capture the center of the earth. Like it's just like a floating sea of diamonds that you can just like go through, and you're not burned to a crisp somehow. And it's like slightly hot inside. He's like, oh fuck, I'm sweating like kind of profusely, guys. And that part is funny for sure. But,
I do love that they don't have suits on. I do love that they're in. I mean, they do when they get out of there, but they're just mobbing in like Nike hoodies. Like there's like the head science, the head. Not Hillary Swank's like mentor in NASA or whatever. That's he's a bro. He's cool. And there's a little bit of NASA propaganda in this movie that I don't particularly care for, but that's okay. I'm totally fine. It's tackling a bigger problem in my opinion. But there's the guy when he gives her the speech, he's like, you can't win. You can't have a win till you lose, or you can't be a leader till you lose once. Which Sean McDermott, I mean, maybe it might be the case. Maybe that's what he says. That's his post game speeches. But he says. You can't, but he's wearing like a Nike hoodie, and then he just like hops into the spacesuit with that on, or hops into the core craft, whatever the unobtainium craft, whatever that's called. That I was just like, I love that, and it's like because I don't want to watch these people in suits. Like they thought about the audience. They were like, hey, what if a movie was just meant to entertain you and have fun? And like, because they're like, why would we want to watch these people in suits just talking to each other just so some libtard scientist is happy? Like that's not. By the way, the person who debunks this in the NPR article I went on, shortwave, right? That was the. I hope this has been defunded. I hope this show has been defunded. Shortwave scientist in residence, Regina G. Barber. Just go ahead and search Regina G. Barber. It's just like she looks like she writes YA. Like she looks like she writes like YA fiction or something. And Barber has spent her academic career combining racial and gender equity, science, and pop culture into one career. So I'm really glad she was here for us to tell me that the core is not real. I'm so glad that thank you, Regina. I hope that show was like defunded radically during the because this NPR's still on, right? I hear people saying you can like
not in my car.
Oh, of course, yeah, not in my car. I agree. Yeah,
dude, I used to drive a work van a couple jobs ago, and this dude always left it on NPR, and he always wanted to talk about that stuff, and I drove usually alone, and I mean, just literally, it's like it is a parody. It's crazy. Just those like you know, 3-minute at a time clips that I would hear are so it's like you couldn't even like invent some like guy to be that. It was like a bit almost. It's crazy, and yeah, it really is a performative thing. NPR.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just you can always tell like when the new like NPR downloadable content thing happened like to their brains when like you just start hearing 3 people say the same thing that you saw on Twitter 2 weeks ago, and you're just like, you fuck, like I really. And the climate change thing still really bothers me a lot. And like I thought about it the whole time during the movie, and I was like I said, I was really refreshed to see scientists not turned into gods, not like they don't do the like bowing, like the Hulk bowing to like a doctor graphic in COVID. They're not doing that in this movie, which is really refreshing. But what I the climate change thing, I've said this on the show a lot, and I think it's actually like I don't know that anybody has an actual answer for it. I'm like, if climate change is real, and you have to believe it to its full extent, like for it to be real, you can't be like a half climate guy. You can't be like, yeah, it's getting warmer, but I don't know what that means. People will be like, no, it means imminent doom unless 10 straight Democratic presidents get elected. Like 10 straight have to happen. And we should fortify any election for that to happen to like because the world's going to end. But the thing is I have yet to meet, I'm sure, Sai, you've met a couple of these people, anybody where it's their number one issue. Like they don't like you know when you're talking to a climate person, like an actual climate person who's like, save this, save that, save the whale. This movie has saved the whales, which I love. I find that beautiful when you want to save whales and stuff like that. But there's the people that have that one, like if you believe in climate change at all, it has to go to number one on your list. Like you should not care about racism. You should not care about anything else because the world is literally ending. But they freak out with the same degree of everything like every core tenet of liberalism, which is again changed every 5 minutes. Like whatever it needs to. The people talk about climate change in the same way that they talk about the East Wing of the White House being demolished. Right?
Yeah,
that's the same intensity of that. And you're like, you can't. You like you would have to go like, yo, I know that dude's like, you know, taking an excavator into the White House, which is sick as fuck, by the way. Why are people pretending that's not cool and they wouldn't do the exact same thing? I saw that picture of the guy that was eating at the Denny's in the White House, which I don't. Is that real?
Dude, yeah, I know. You don't know if it's a bit or not.
I don't know if it's not. It's a great bit if it is.
My mom tried to hit me with. Yeah. My mom visit. She tried to hit me with it. Did you see what they're doing to the White House? I was like, I literally was like, I don't give a fuck about. I was like, stop.
We all grew up playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like,
I know,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and but to your point, it's funny when these issues and to the climate thing when they're clearly saying like, yeah, hey, we need funding because the world's going to end, and it's clearly like the Crichton NGO treadmill thing, right? But then part of that rhetoric you do need, but it also organically creates a lot of true believers, right?
Of course.
And honestly, some of this, like, there's one guy that I used to work for. I actually used to work for like kind of a renewable energy kind of a thing. It was like a wind lab, and it was sick as fuck. It was like I still like a lot of that shit. I'm not. You know, like, I don't know. I still think there's a place for a lot of that type of stuff, you know, batteries and all that. And this guy was like hella smart. And I mean, it's just like crazy smart. Like he was like a biology PhD. And then he just pivoted to coding when he was like 55 and created all his own algorithms for his own company. And then like sold that for millions. So clearly a competent guy, you know, but he was so obsessed with the climate stuff, and the point where I was like a college student, and I was like, hey, I bought like an $800 truck just so I could get around. And I was like, hey, what do you think? You know, and he was like lecturing. He's like, every 20 miles you drive this, an 80 square mile patch of the Arctic will cease. And I was like, I know you're smarter than me, but I just don't think that's like true. Like, I don't think that me driving this truck 20 miles is like melting that much ice. That doesn't pass the sniff test for me.
If so, and do I quit?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like what it's what am I supposed to do with that information? It's that, in my opinion.
No, and then and then I caught up with him and I'm not trying to dog on him because I really do like this guy, but he and he had my back like on some other stuff too, which like that
He used
was
to let
pretty
you say
cool.
the N word really
Yeah.
loud at work.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just really into
But,
climate change otherwise.
Yeah, but we talked on the phone a few years back, and he's like, "Yeah, I got all rid of all my companies. I'm not doing anything more. I'm going into full-time activism." For that group, remember that like the super glue hand people on like the Starbucks counter, like those types of people, right?
James Cromwell.
Yeah, Direct Action DXE or whatever the crazy psyop
Damn.
ass organization.
That sounds like
And
extreme
I'm like,
sports,
bro,
and then it's something way gayer. Yeah,
dude, I'm like, bro, you're like, he's literally like a silver-haired hippie. He's like old guy. Got rid of 2 companies, sold one for millions of dollars. I'm like, dude, you do not need to be doing this shit. Like, you're like way more better stuff to do.
If the world ends, you did a great job. Like getting like, hey, the world ended. I think I won.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm the same way. I know people who like half believe in it. Like they believe in it because it's a perfect way to scold somebody in the short term, but then you realize like, well, I can just be mad about like Exxon Mobil and not do anything on my own. Like, I still not change anything about your lifestyle. Yell at your neighbor because it comes in like the Republican starter pack is like, dual exhaust, just whatever, all of this stuff. And it's the perfect thing for like a lazy libtard is climate change. Like it's never been like, I know when there's, and I'm pulling up this article here. I just love, this is a Salon article that 13 sent us, says how this laughable sci-fi flick embarrassed Hollywood into doing better science. Sick. No matter how much you might hate a movie, it is doubtful you loathe it as much as scientists despise this one infamous flick. There is a motion picture so scientifically irresponsible that merely mentioning its title instantly arouses ire in countless otherwise stolid academic personnel. This is horrible already. And there's like quotes grabs of like, I got a call from the director who was in Hollywood and was upset at me because I had said these things. That's the point which I realized that he thought it was scientifically accurate. I doubt it. I doubt they thought that. I doubt they were like, yeah, man, let's go. Because first off, James Cameron would have directed it if it was like, because he'd try it and direct it. Like he would be like, I'll make the movie about it and then I'll try it in real life with somebody. And
yeah, James Cameron's like an actual fucking scientist, it seems.
Yeah, he wears like motocross jackets and like just go in like deep sea dives and stuff. It's so sick, by the way. Yeah. Like it's amazing. But yeah, like these, I mean, I find this fascinating that like usually like what they did with Michael Crichton is they kind of just like retcon him into like, they kind of retcon him into just like the Jurassic Park guy, which Jurassic Park is based as hell. If you actually like read the book and even watch the movie, like it's very science skeptical. It's very much that, but they retcon him into like Westworld. Oh, he was amusement park, everything. But they kind of just won't talk about books like State of Fear or something. Like I think there might be more about this movie than there is about debunking State of Fear, which State of Fear is, in my opinion, it's not Crichton's best book. It's not the best story he's ever told, but it's his most like prescient point that he's ever made, in my opinion. That and Disclosure, honestly, those 2 books are probably like, I have to tell you guys something. These people are sick and insane, and this is, I'm going to package it in a fun story, but there's a sense of like seriousness in what he's talking about, but the core is not serious. They're having fun. The only thing they're saying is like, man, look at these nerd scientists and military. This like scientific military complex is lame, That's what
Yeah. I think the whole doing better science in Hollywood thing. I mean, what has that? I think I'm not even trying to dog on this movie because I like Christopher Nolan, but like Interstellar was like,
I love.
Oh, they really, really honed down hard on getting it scientifically accurate, and it's like, it's a cool movie, but it's just they just really try and make it into this weird like quasi-religious atheistic kind of thing where it's like actually multidimensionality is all about love, man, but it's scientifically proven, man, you know, and it's just kind of dorky and how they try and tie it together. The core is like way sicker, where it's just like, no, suspend your belief for this retarded ass thing that we're gonna do, which is way cooler, you know, all the time. And yeah, I don't know. I reject the notion that we need to do better.
Scientific accuracy is like you're supposed to take these things and whatever they say, you have to basically believe 100% of it. And then they change it like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like the age of the universe is twice as old as they said it was.
Thank you.
It went
Thank
from,
you.
14 to 28 billion years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's true. But then it was also true. It was true at the time, but now you have to have the update.
It's truer levels of truth. And then they get the whole like, oh yeah, that's just how science works. Remember when whenever you criticize the vaccine, be like, no, we know that now. That's just how science works. You don't understand how it works, you fucking retard. You know, it's just like, no, yeah. A big thing with the movies too is like when you got hit, when you made a movie with any scientific inaccuracies in it in the 2010s, you'd get hit with the Neil deGrasse Tyson thread. Remember, he would drop a thread on your ass. It'd be like, actually, the color spectrum of this is 580 nanometers and not 620, and and just the most like vile pieces of pop culture scientific.
Yeah, and I remember he tried to debunk Santa every Christmas. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, just stop. He killed. The 2010. I mean, right now we have, I feel like people are like, there's definitely still science trusters to the core, but there's still lots of. I feel like we kind of moved away a little bit from, like, I don't know nearly as many people who say like the science is settled. Like, I remember hearing people say that in like 2020 and 2021. You're like, can you shut up? Like it was really scary. It was really scary. They would hound you for where you heard a certain thing, knowing, because they wanted you to say Joe Rogan. So then you could say, they'd be like, oh, you get your science from Joe Rogan. I'm like, dude, you get it. You get your science from like Adam McKay movies. Like, you get your science from Leonardo DiCaprio or just like people. I'm just like, none of these people, they don't even know. There's like Reddit people who get really into like Carl Sagan and stuff like that. But then like half the time when people are really into science, they just like, they follow an Instagram account that like shows a video of like things melting. And they're just like, I can tell you what vaccines, how good they are. And you're like, what's in them? Shut up. And like, that's the end of the discussion. So to me, I don't really like debating libtards about science. I used to, because you think it's gonna work, but it doesn't.
It's one of those interesting things I noticed where sometimes you can nominally agree with someone on a topic, or in polite conversation or whatever, but you just know you were on completely different planes of existence,
right?
Where like it's like two ships passing in the night, where even if you nominally agree on a subject, that the thing that led you both to that belief is completely separate, and it's like almost like a fluke, and I feel, again, like that was kind of how I ended my written piece today, was that I just don't trust these guys. I don't trust these guys' sense of gathering information, at like a fundamental level.
No,
or just how they like adopt new beliefs and stuff. And it's like, I'm not saying my system is perfect or whatever, but I sure as shit don't trust whatever they got going on, and it's like, I just think we can all see it at this point. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's what I like about the core is that it gets the politics of science. Like, you have like the Delroy Lindo character who's like did a lot of cool stuff, but his work got stolen. He's like a Tesla of the situation. By the way, a black man got us to the core. You may have evidence to the contrary, but a black man got us to the core. And his death scene is fucking sucks. I mean it in a good way. Like, it's just like, damn, dude, that dude just got microwaved to death. Like, the death scenes are actually like, because like, there's parts of the movies that makes it obviously, you know, we're talking about special effects from like 2003, and part of it when it turns into like weird computer game graphics, like it kind of scares me a little bit. Like it makes it look a little more isolating and scary, like when they're just like rotating and like in the core and like the explosions happen. I'm like, man, that looks way scarier than like really what we would see today, modern CGI, modern whatever they do, and all of that. But like, yeah, the Delroy Lindo character is like cool because he's like the scientific romantic. He's like a romantic about the craft of science, but like jaded on the Institute of Science, TM, which those are the people like after a while that like become the whistleblowers for like Pfizer or for climate science and stuff. And it's like those are the ones that do it, the ones that actually still give a shit about being correct on stuff and like risk it all and all that. And people will say that they take money from here, money from there. They have some depopulation agenda or something. Like, nah, those are the guys that do it. So his character ruled. He's a lot of times like he's in Sinners, which I had to see for a podcast episode. He's like the only good thing in that movie. That movie's fucking awful. Like, and Delroy Lindo kills it. So shout out to him. I had to give a shout out to his character in there. And Stanley Tucci with hair is pretty cool. I forgot he used to have hair.
Stanley Tucci smoking cigarettes, like at the end of
yeah.
At the end of the movie, he's inside the tube and he's doing that narration to himself, and he's about to like get blown up by that nuke.
Yeah.
And he's like basically doing a diary, but he's about to die any second. Then he just realizes like, what the fuck am I doing? And he just starts laughing and you see the nuke go off.
So sick. So sick.
Yeah, the death scenes are sick. How about the French guy getting crushed?
The French guy. I love the French guy. Who is that guy? I forget who that is. He's in a lot of movies around that time as a French guy. He's just like a French dude in movies. But he's like trying to save the world for his family. He's still very like family, like dad core kind of like. I love that. I think that's pretty awesome. And I do. Hilary Swank is brutal though. I mean, that there's actually a Michael Crichton kind of element to Hilary Swank in there, which in the Andromeda Strain, Crichton poses the lone man hypothesis. Now it's a lone woman in this case, but the button can only be pushed, which is like in the virus lab in Andromeda Strain, which I highly recommend to people, especially if you got into the COVID truther stuff, which I'd imagine a lot of people did listening to this program. But there's the lone man. They say like the one man can push the button, can be the one to push it, because somebody who doesn't have a wife, doesn't have kids or anything, like they need to make the decision because they won't think about their wife and kids when they're doing it. They will only think about like, should I blow this shit up or not with me in it, to be honest. And Hilary Swank oftentimes is just like, oh, I think I can save him. Nah, fuck that. Hits the button. And it's like the French guy, like, you know, he might have been able to be saved, but you know, he died a hero, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Surge. Cool. We're gonna go to
Surge.
France and have baguettes.
I love that line. And the guy's getting like crushed by like metal, and he's like, yeah, like yeah, and like he's just like, yeah. The death scenes are like kind of brutal. Like, so you think it's like a silly movie, and then you're like, damn,
yeah,
fuck, like that sucks. Like I didn't think they were. I really didn't think. I thought just Surge was gonna die, and then the other guy, the one that sucks, is the main NASA guy. I think his name's Bob, right? The main guy, and when the fucking rock goes through his helmet and kills him, you're like, damn, dude, that sucks. That's a shitty way to go. And then you just fall into the lava, and everyone's just like, yeah, that sucks. We lost Bob. Yeah,
yeah.
They're like, damn, that suit. These suits that we don't wear on the ship, they cannot stop a rock. That sucks. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, Hilary Swank, fellas, would you?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
this movie
under the circumstances.
Yeah,
on the ship, for sure. Dude.
Yeah, either that or Delroy Lindo. Yeah, yeah. You pick. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It was definitely the kombucha girl meme. Whenever I see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Harvey Dent is quick to forgive. I'll say that, man. He like, you know, he's like,
He's like a golden retriever.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like one. Yeah,
He does look like a golden. Aaron Eckhart looks like a golden retriever. He's in some pretty based movies. He's in Aaron Brockovich.
Yeah.
He's in that. He's like the cool boyfriend in that movie, like and stuff when she's trying to when all the water supply is getting poisoned and stuff. But what else about there's
that's another sorry, just
I
actually haven't seen that movie, Aaron Brockovich, but I'm familiar with the story.
We should do an episode. We should do it. Brockovich. Yeah,
but that's one that a lot of the more liberal people in my life are always bringing up and like fawning over the Aaron. Oh my God, Aaron Brockovich story, isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. And all the same people that wanted your nuts chopped off for not getting 10 vaccines, like the same energy of whistleblower status, right? Of like, hey, they're lying about all this shit and it's actually hurting people. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. I was, another one of those instances.
Yeah,
which I think is funny. Yeah, there'll be an Aaron Brockovich 2.0 in 40 years, and we'll have to do the same thing, all while you're being forced to get the new thing of that era, and then 40 years from there, it's just a constant endless cycle.
It sucks. Yeah. I know. Is she? Did she stay the course? Like, what was her 2020 like? I don't know. I'm scared to check what the actual real Aaron Brockovich feels.
It's a good question
about COVID. Like,
I don't begrudge anyone if you stayed silent. If you just stayed out of it, I don't begrudge anyone. But if you like, who's that stupid ass the shock doctrine or Naomi Klein or whatever, who was like her whole career, her whole book and thesis was like, hey, did you know that one of the worst things about quote unquote capitalism is they'll invent fake things for you to get mad at or for you to get scared of and then try and control you on the back end, and then like completely fell for COVID.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, what?
It's
like
rough, dude.
It's literally your fucking thesis of your life. Like and you fell for that. Yeah,
it's rough. Crazy. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah. I'm only seeing people like. I don't know. I'm only seeing people like reference Aaron Brockovich. I'm just trying to look like, did she? Okay, so I hope she didn't just like completely lib out like during COVID or something. Like I'm glad to see that because that story, that was a pretty real story. I mean, like it's fucked up. Because like you see this other movie. There was a movie called Dark Water, I want to say, with Mark Ruffalo. And he's the fucking worst in real life. But like there was the 3M what was it, the non-stick pans or whatever, but it was the factory that was just dumping off all their shit into like a town's water supply, and you saw like mutated like Simpsons fish and like cows and like all kids dying of cancer or something, and like it was basically like, don't trust like these corporate interest, which is easy to like deflect because you're like, well, I love the earth because I believe in climate change, so I would never fall for something like that. But then like you see Mark Ruffalo in real life, and he's just like, yeah, like honestly, dude, like empty the prisons. Yeah, he's like totally one of those guys. He's like I personally have $100 million. I don't even want it. Like, it's terrible. We should just give it to everybody. Like, first, no, you can't have any of my banking information, but like, no, like, he's totally like one of those people. And again, they're actors. They're fucking stupid. So it's not really like, I'm not really pointing out anything that crazy here, but I've, just getting back to the core, I just found it to be so refreshing because it's just like, what if we just went to the center of the earth? Like, that's just way better. That's way better than any other fucking movie about documents about how the world's ending, and it's just people handing documents to people and going, oh fuck, these aren't the real documents, where are the other documents? And that's how those movies end. And then there's just like a woman's heels clicking on the floor walking in, and she's got the real documents, and you only see the woman's heels in the shot. And then she opens the door and she's like, you're looking for these documents? And they're like, fuck, she's here. Thank you. We're a bunch of retarded men. Thank you. And then you get the end of the movie ends, of course. And then she gets a boyfriend or something. I have no idea how the rest of the movie ends, but that's every movie that comes out about like these types of things, except this is just like I said, like a computer game, like something you'd buy at like Fry's Electronics, like going to the center of the earth, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi in the way that I love crime fiction or crime dramas or something, I don't really like true crime that much because it's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like if you ever meet people that are obsessed with like actual true crime, it's mostly women. It's kind of a meme and stuff, but they're like, dude, what's your fucking problem? And then when people get obsessed with like scientifically checking movies, like it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. And all of those people, I'm sick of all of those people falling for every psyop that ever happens. Like this shit's actually easy now, by the way. Have you noticed that? It's actually really easy now. Like you don't really have to parse through anything. You just look at that and you go, that's fake. And then you say it to yourself. And then a week later, you're like, oh, it's fake. I was right.
Yeah, at the very least, like 80% accuracy. You know,
Yeah.
just of like off the sniff test. You're like, nope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
good. And it's a skill. It's a skill that can be honed, which is great.
It becomes muscle memory in a way, like, you know.
Yeah.
And again, you know, you should always like actually look up what you believe in, but like it's kind of tough to do nowadays because you go like it's not going to happen on Google. Tell you that.
Well, that's my thing with the chemtrail thing, where it's like I'm actually not sure what's going on there, and I don't know like the ins and outs of whatever, but I know enough to know that they've done crazy shit and are absolutely willing. They spray like flesh-eating bacteria on a whole town like 40 years ago or 50 years. Like, of course they're gonna be. They have the capacity to do that shit. So it's like I'm not gonna write that one off. You know, I'm not gonna make some crazy claims on it, but it is what it is. You know, I feel you guys probably feel the same.
Yeah,
or similar. I don't know. Yeah.
And it's like I don't really like science that much. Like I've never like it was never a class, but I just remember the Facebook page and nobody fucking liked science growing up. There were like 2 kids. Cy was one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who thought science was kind of cool. You know,
and they oversold it to me, and it turned me into who I am today.
Yeah,
just like fucking
they did. Well, you're not the face of modern science, if you know what I'm saying. Like it's Regina. What was the girl's name? I just said Regina, the racial equity scientist woman on NPR.
Yeah.
That's who the face of this is. But I just like then I remember the Facebook page. I fucking love science came out. Everybody liked it. All my friends. I'm like, no, you don't. Like none of you got a fucking D. Like you failed it. You were fucking around with the Bunsen burner too much. Like you guys are fucking idiots. So am I. I'm one of them. I'm like all of a sudden my friends that I played fucking hacky sack with in high school love science, and it just became this like thing where you watch the Cosmos thing on Netflix, narrated by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and you just slowly see people's balls just like a deciduous tree time lapsing. They just fall off. And then they just become omni libtards. And they care now about the East Wing of the White House being demolished. They care now about lynchings. People are like, there's lynchings happen. You ask the average libtard right now, they will tell you that lynchings are happening everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Not John lynchings, not Marshawn lynchings, lynchings.
Yeah. My mom's always bringing up I think they talk about it on CNN a lot.
They say lynching, and
which is crazy.
The definition. They changed the definition of lynching. It's basically anytime a black guy dies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's what I tell her. I'm like, isn't it just called murder now? Like, it's not legal to murder someone.
If you just say
like,
murdered,
it's like, I'm like, let's say what you're saying is happening. That's called murder, and that's usually you go to prison for that.
It's like the defense attorney. It's like the defense attorney's getting the desk, and it's like, I have to defend a murderer today, and they go, "Oh, used a rope," and then the guy was black. We're getting off easy. This is Mississippi. Yeah, like you know, like they think that's like they think,
or they call it
real.
I don't know if 13 Seconds knows about the Colin Kaepernick.
The second autopsy.
Yeah,
that's my favorite one, dude. So there was, I mean, this again, sad story. Like this kid ruled a suicide on campus. He was a black man, and he like hung himself. And everybody was like, "Black people do not hang themselves." And at first, I was kind of like, "That's kind of true." I don't think I've ever heard of a black guy hanging himself, like straight up. Like that seems like a very like white guy thing, like you know. So whatever. Anyways, I was like, okay, whatever. The death was ruled a suicide, and then Colin Kaepernick comes in and puts a second autopsy. He's like, I'm paying for a second autopsy to see what's going to happen, right? A month goes by, we get no news, but just the fact, which no news to me means the second autopsy probably showed the same as the first, right? If it didn't, we would hear
Well,
about
wasn't
it
the
constantly.
thing, and again, yeah, it does suck, horrible, but like,
Yeah,
wasn't it like it was caught on like video, and so it was kind of
Yeah.
wasn't it one of those things where it's like
right.
kind of open and shut, you know? I think that
With
was I don't
AI,
know.
but then you could do
I don't know
AI. Like it's
Yeah.
just like again. Well, I not even trying to get into like that. I just mean when you're talking to people that tell you the world's ending, they believe this shit too, and they were just told by some fucking person on TV that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you guys might be getting your beliefs from this podcast. That's hey, whatever. I actually want people to like research beyond what we're saying. The people on CNN don't fucking want you to do that. So, like they were famously saying, do not do your own research. And that's because they can get you to believe that the world is ending because you didn't vote Democrat. Like you said, Sai, Bill Gates, straight up, it just came out like today. He said, it says, and who posted this? I think it was Andrew Curran. He says Bill Gates has significantly changed his stance on climate change, and in a new memo now says, "quote It will not lead to humanity's demise." And this is from the article. There's a doomsday view of climate change that goes like this: in a few decades, cataclysmic climate change will decimate civilization. The evidence is all around us. Just look at all the heat waves and storms caused by rising global temperatures. Nothing matters more than limiting the rise in temperature. Fortunately, for all of us, this view is wrong. This is Bill Gates saying this. Bill Gates is like the number one climate guy. Although climate change will have serious consequences, particularly for people in the poorest countries, who he's pumping God knows what into there, it will not lead to humanity's demise. People will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future. Emissions projections have gone down, and with the right policies and investments, innovation will allow us to drive emissions down much further. So he's like, can I still have money? Can I still have your trust? He basically says it's not real, but like, let's keep rolling with the bullshit. And no one's going to see that. You can't send that to your libtard relative. They're trained to just go, where's that from? And you could say it's New York Times. I don't even know where that's from, but I think it was from a mainstream publication. That doesn't matter. It's not about them seeing clinical trials. It's not about them seeing the behind the curtain. It's about it's literally about what was curated to them by institutions that they trust. And we all know those people. That in fact, we might love and cherish some of those people. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's just lame when any kind of weather situation happens and people just offhandedly will say,
Yeah.
"Oh man, the fucking climate, dude." It's like, yeah, okay, there was no rain for like 2 months. We're in a drought. Oh, it's fucking climate change. Okay, well, it just rained like 2 days ago, so I think we're back off the drought. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't. This climate shit.
That's
I don't
literally
know.
what happens too. That's literally what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Let's change like literally the entire civilization and like throw away everything that everyone has built collectively.
Mhm.
Like in the next 10 years to achieve something for people who live like 300 years from now.
Yeah, and it
Like
also
it sounds insane, but like the younger you are, the more sense it makes because they're selling doom really that people get
Yeah.
sucked into and bought
Great
into.
point.
I think
That's
it
a-
affects young people especially hard because the time dilation is so crazy when you're like in high school. You think, first of all, you believe everything you hear from people of authority if you're a certain type of person, and when you hear the world's going to end in 15 years, that's literally half your life, or that's your whole life projected into the future. Yeah, it's
It
odd.
also makes you not want to try anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I think like, well, the world's going to end. So like, why would I, do this? Why would I do that? And again, they've fine-tuned that because yes, there is a demoralization agenda that happens from these media institutions, but there's also They also kind of need you to be like a little more active foot soldier still. So they need to sell you a way out like a little bit, like to where it's like reduce this, vote down. Like remember the hurricane, the famous hurricane thing where it said like how to defend yourself against this hurricane, and it's like get a COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. People
That was
forget
it.
that one. I was that the Florida one? I can't remember.
That was Biden saying it, right? That was like literally
It was like the docket of like everything they were putting out. Like it was like,
yeah.
all right, like, you know, hey, classic hurricane, like it was like 3 classic hurricane steps. I don't literally say it as hurricane, so I can't remember, but it was like 3 just basic hurricane things. Like, and then the 4th one was get a COVID-19 shot.
No,
like,
that's and the thing they don't they literally hear that and they go, oh, of course. They don't even like scoff. They're
what
like,
moron would you?
yeah, they're like, it's all part of the program. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'd be dead right now if I didn't have one. The hurricane, I would have died before the hurricane if I didn't have one. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all, I tell people like genuinely, the worst is the people that want to meet you halfway. Like, I almost like the people that go, okay, fine. Like, what is something I can read that helps me understand the way you think? You hand them Dissolving Illusions. It's a fucking brick that no one picks up, right? It's one of the best books ever written, best piece of nonfiction I've ever read. And it's just like pretty easy to understand. You don't need a degree in this. You don't need a degree in that. You don't need an explainer. You don't need a corresponding YouTube video to tell you that. They won't even touch that shit because they're afraid of what it makes you more so than being wrong. They're afraid of, you know, Sai's articles today is very much like this. It's like being a guy who believes in chemtrails is worse than, oh shit, I was wrong about chemtrails.
Yeah.
To all these people, it's optics, received opinions, all of this group think, all of that stuff. That the worst thing is being a guy who believes the thing that
it's the worst.
And
it's even funnier with the vaccine stuff where it's like if you're against your newborn getting injected the Hep B vaccine on day 1 of life, you're anti-vax, you know, and it's when like when you can find, you know, I don't know, at least 20% of doctors today will be like, nah, that's fucking gay. You don't need to do that, you know? Or like or our entire country is Japan anti-vax? Are they all just chuds? You know,
well, people don't like Japan right now. They will tell you.
True. They are chud now.
People do not like Japan.
Yeah. Fucking funny, dude. So funny. That's another interesting one. Yeah. Where they're like reading reading the tea leaves, so to speak, of what's happening in the rest of the world, and they're just like, nope, you know, they're just they're just like, no, thank you.
They take their statistics seriously in Japan. I just say that.
Yeah, they do. They legit do. It is a weird culture there in a cool way where like it is kind of neurotic in a way where they do, like, just not to keep talking about the COVID vaccine, but they're like, everyone needs to get this, but also we were wrong about it and it is harmful. You know, they're like that type of where they can admit it to themselves, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They don't need to keep the lies going for long.
No, I'm sick and tired of like, you know, the one problem is like, you don't want to hide it from people. Like, you want to just be like, why can't I just bring up that I don't believe in the thing that you don't believe in? Like, it never used to be a problem, even if people were like super bleeding heart about their situation. Like, they were down to like argue about it with you, but like these people will straight up like take pride in like being almost as a martyr. They'll be like, I lost a friend of 15 years today over literally something that was made up last week. And it's like, damn, dude. And they view it as like, I lost a friend, but, you know, am I the asshole? No, and everyone says no, because no, the person that you cut out of your life wants everyone dead. And that's truly what they believe. And that's why like climate change is such a very useful thing to a lot of people, because you already think your political adversaries, like if you're a lib, you already think your political adversaries want you dead, right? Want you personally, John Q. Libtard. They want you dead. and all of your friends and all of the people that you support. So when you say like also the world is ending, it brings this like psychedelic, like cosmic aspect to what they believe in, which is usually like hard materialist science. And I'm saying that in kind of air quotes here, but they that really validates that like actually the world can end because this person doesn't believe that there's like 80 genders. That like it sounds crazy, but if you really, they can't even push back on that. That's the crazy part. They can't even push back on the absurd thing that I said. They, not publicly, at least.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I've been yakking this whole time. And the 13, I haven't heard from you. I'm just yakking my ass off because the core got me fired up. I'm John Gruden right now. The core got me fired up.
You're heated like the core of the earth.
Yeah. The core, Aaron
Well,
Eckhart, he goes straight through. He's downhill, north-south runner, like my dad had in Indiana back in 1982.
I have a couple other crackpot, off-the-wall theories and questions regarding the movie for you guys.
Not that.
No, we're not going to allow that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
all right.
Yes,
See you guys.
yeah, let
Okay,
him fire it off. Fire him off.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, just debunking the science of the core. We all know no one has been to the core of the earth. How the fuck does anyone know what it's even made out of,
Hey,
or
great,
what it is?
Great point. Yeah.
Like like scientifically, it's not like this. It's like that. It's like, okay, well, you have no idea.
Core expert here. Hi. It's
Yeah.
like one of those.
And
You're right.
I find that interesting. On that brings up a couple things for me. Where number one is there's the like Terrence McKenna ass tradition of like, hey, maybe there are people living under the core of the earth or like under the surface, or deep within, or like on a more spiritual level.
Mhm.
And second of all, that brings up the moon, where people are like, oh yeah, of course the moon is this. It's like no one fucking dug into the moon. It's all inferential. It's all based on like the mathematics of gravity and density and stuff, which is like it's not nothing. That's I don't think we should shun that stuff, but it's not like we examine this stuff. And the whole I find that pole switching, like the core does supposedly create the magnetic field of the earth, and we're apparently experiencing for me like a flip, of the fucking of the magnetic poles that could be happening at any point in our lifetime, which is like a scientific phenomenon, but also like that's like Age of Aquarius stuff, like it's a big spiritual thing for people. So anyway, go on. I want to hear the rest of these.
Yeah. Well, that's one. A second one, and this kind of ties back into the climate thing. Sources of heating, I guess like geothermal or anything related to the core, like the cycles of what happens underground, is not like we know that volcanoes are not really part of like climate models, but just geothermal heating of the ocean based on the core of the earth. I've seen people online, posit that there could be some processes that we don't understand because they happen at time scales that we haven't observed, where whatever happens at the core of the earth, which no one knows, there's cyclical things where more heat can come out of the core because it's some kind of nuclear reactor, or it's an insane amount of heat. It's way more heat than is present in like the entire atmosphere. So like a slight change that somehow allows that kind of heat to transmit out of the core and like say into the oceans would cause a massive amount of heating. That I don't know, is that a source of the climate heating? Because they also don't go down to the bottom of the ocean and have like temperature sensors. I think all the ocean model shit is like at the surface, right? Or like down 100 meters or something like that.
That's a great point. That even one black swan, like there could be a black swan kind of event on the human time frame scale that could just be a natural phenomenon of the Earth's core interacting with pushing stuff out to the outer surface and into the oceans of the atmosphere, right? I remember my dad was, because he's always been like a kind of he was like an early denier basically, and I remember when I was a kid, he's like, did you know that like one volcano activity is like worth like thousands of years of human activity? And I was like, what? No way. And he's like, yeah, look it up. It's like he's like, this is all bullshit. And maybe he was like much wiser than I realized, yeah.
Damn.
So yeah,
that is a bar. I mean,
oh yeah, he had some source he was listening to some shit back then for sure. That was interesting.
I feel like that was on Rush Limbaugh. I feel like that was
for sure.
Yeah,
I think
that was Rush. That sounds like
DraftKings. Yeah, that's
Rush
like
Rush having a guest on who was like,
it's like plus 200 DraftKings odds right there. That was yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next one?
Yeah, I got more.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing about the campaign to like debunk the movie after the fact, the thing with chemtrails and people talking, weather modification, and I mentioned this to you, Glenn, but there's this thing that's kind of like a punching bag online that keeps coming up about HARP, this facility in Alaska that is, I'm not really like that into conspiracy theories. I just kind of like thinking about them.
Sure,
I don't spend months or years like focusing on them, but it's just like this movie. It kind of like pops back up in my head from time to time. But the shit with HARP, the proclaimed what it's supposed to do. It's this facility that was created by the military in the 90s. It was created by the Air Force and like funded by DARPA. But it's this massive array of some type of radio antennas that beams electricity up into outer space and heats up the ionosphere, which is part of the atmosphere that's like 100 miles off the surface. And they say it has to do with communications. But the conspiracy theory is that they use that for weather modification and all this other shit. But when they debunk the core, the movie, the machine that destroys like the core of the Earth in the movie is this facility in Alaska that they call Destiny.
Yeah.
But they don't call it HARP, and it shoots down into the core. It doesn't shoot up into outer space. But they kind of do this sneak. I think debunking the core is to kind of like throw ongoing shade on HARP conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, well, core is like the biggest piece of shit of all time. Like any type of machine that's in Alaska could not possibly create earthquakes.
Okay, so what are you doing in Alaska then?
Exactly.
Yeah. What are you guys doing over there? Just fucking around? Defunded. You guys obviously don't need the money.
It's the weather.
They're so motivated to continuously debunk this tech or something that I have no idea what it does.
What is it connected? Remember the Maui fires and the blue roofs? Remember all that?
That was. I still haven't gotten.
It's reminded me of that, dude. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was an odd. People like that might have been the most accurate TikTok has ever been. Like, is the Maui fires. Like they were getting that shit right, and then TikTok just all of a sudden just completely nuked a lot of that stuff. I remember they were just like that was a very strange fight. I got really I mean, yes, that's kind of true to a point where like whenever something weird's happening with the weather, like instead of climate change, people like me will say, well, HARP, like it's true. We do lean on it. It is the thing we lean on. During the California drought, I thought the same thing. I was like, what are they fucking doing?
Yeah.
Like, are they like, like, what are you doing to the water? First off, like, I know what's happening. They were flushing water into the fucking ocean. I know that Trump said that on Rogan, and it's fucking true. And I think in Bakersfield or a couple other places in Central California, they were just straight up just like, oops, just water into the ocean. It's like, well, it was very much like the not the plot of Chinatown. That's a little bit different, but the like kind of the premise of the beginning of Chinatown is the farmers going like, yo, where's the water? And they don't want the farms you know, to
Yeah.
get the water so they can build shit on top of it and stuff. But then there's those night scenes of them just pumping water into the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm like, are you guys doing that? And now, to be fair, in California, it didn't rain that much. Like, it really didn't. We would go like straight up a year with like a couple days of raining. So it was like, you had to at least come to the conclusion, like, okay, it isn't raining, right? Like, it's kind of strange. But I was like, are they fucking with us? Are they fucking with us right now? Like, is there a weather modification? And it was just a question to me. I wasn't like saying that, and maybe it was. Then all of a sudden, we just had a rainy ass year, and then like old heads would go, Farmer's Almanac, you retard, said it was going to go like 3 or 4 years without it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Farmer's Almanac is true or not, but like, I know some people that are like, Farmer's Almanac is basically the Bible. It's a, you know, I don't know. But at the end of the day, HAARP, I was just like, what is going on? Because this drought thing that's happening, there's fires everywhere. Paradise, California, you have bad infrastructure that was, you know, we'd pay arm and a leg for in California. And it was burning down these places like Paradise, these kind of like chuddy areas of California. And then, you know, obviously a couple of years later, you have the Palisades, like LA one, which is pretty insane as well. But the Paradise, California fire, for anyone who doesn't know, like, it was disastrous, and it just took out like the part of Northern California where people have guns and stuff, like part of that. And I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But for a while, I thought, are they gonna fucking try to like repopulate that place? And knowing what they did with the airdropped Haitians of like the Biden administration, did it happen? I don't think so. But I was just like, why is it so bad for somebody to just like, at least I can get to that point and go, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't true. Can a lib do their thing and go, oh wait, this isn't true? They can't.
No, the whole just this whole idea. Well, first of all, yeah, the water, to just the quick point on the water, is like, imagine not thinking the water rights in California isn't political. You know, that's like extremely like,
for hundreds of years, or hundreds of years, I should say.
And it's just another to this whole HAARP thing. It's just another example of the whole it's not happening / it's happening but it's good pipeline kind of thing that they do. You know, where wasn't there in Texas where there all those crazy floods last year, and then lo and behold, there's like a weather mod startup
that
in Texas. Weird. And then the guy's like, yeah, we were working in the area, but it wasn't us. Like, we promise. And everyone's like, oh, okay. You know, and it's like, why is there a weather mod startup in Texas? Like, you need funding. You need like tens of millions of dollars minimum to do this shit, you know, and someone's got to fund it, you know, and what's this? So it's all very odd. And I mean, there's thousands of patents on this stuff, and that, you know, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah.
What's the next one?
That might be it. I mean, I don't know.
Oh man.
Okay. The other thing, this isn't really a crackpot theory, but I thought it was funny. There's a line in the movie where they say destiny may have caught up with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like the most retarded line that I've ever heard. It's like, how can first of all, why did you name it destiny? You're intentionally destroying the core of the earth. There's nothing destined about that.
Yeah. It's complete
and
free
then
will.
You're saying that thing that we did may have caught up with us. It was destiny.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
so
rhetorically strange.
It doesn't take it. The movie doesn't take itself seriously, which is why like the need to debunk it is like so kind of insane. But
yeah. Adam Carolla used to talk about like a lot of movies in the 80s. And I love this. He said it was so refreshing in the 80s because you didn't have to explain why somebody was bad. Like, you could just be like, they would come in and they would work for like Evil Corp.
Yeah.
And they were like, what does Evil Corp do? They're like, bad things.
Yeah.
And then, and you know, nowadays it's like, because we're such a, plot holes and explainers, like we're in that you have to like do one full episode of a show in a series
backstory
saying what this company is. It's not important. You know what I mean? Sometimes people make, cool inroads to that, but like you waste time and like waste momentum trying to explain what so much happens in a story, and then people go, the show that was a little slow at that part. But if they didn't do that, people go, I needed more about the company. And it's just that's why I love about like movies are like, this movie's 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It didn't feel that. This is a 2 hour.
Yeah.
This is a plus. Like it's 2 hours and 15 minutes of a movie that like doesn't take itself that seriously, which I found also kind of interesting. Like that's like nowadays you see a lot of movies, like the average movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it takes itself extremely seriously a lot of times when it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Some of the visuals look like that still shot that was released by like the Indian Space Agency when they
Yeah, Stan G. Kubrick.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sanjeev Kubrick.
Yeah. He filmed his moon landing, with 2 A's. But absolutely like that. They did. I loved. Actually, my favorite special effect was actually the spaceship at the beginning just rotating in space like in circles on the moon. Because that is crazy though, because we've done an episode on it, but like 2001 A Space Odyssey, it is crazy how good that movie looks. Like you're just like, okay, 1968 that movie comes out, and I'm not saying it's like, Interstellar or like anything like that, but you'll watch it and you go, this is like breathtaking. And then in like 2003, they're just like, hit the Microsoft fucking video game shit. Like, dude, we don't give a fuck, dude. And like, this movie cost $85 million to make. It was a lot. I mean, the cast, all these people, I mean, even DJ Qualls coming off The New Guy at the time. That was a great movie back then. Road Trip. He was always just like that weird, like it feels like J.K. Rowling anti-Semitically made him or something. Like he has this like very strange look, like that only like a weird, like I don't even know I don't know if he's Jewish, I don't know if he's anything, but it looks like somebody who had evil intentions made him as a caricature. Like that's what he looks like. But is he still
looks like
doing
a dude who never took a shower like in his life?
Yeah. I mean, Hustle and Flow is one of his great performances as the down ass white boy. What is he doing nowadays? Oh, he's still rocking. Yeah, that's crazy. He was in Man in the High Castle. That's right. I did watch that. He's like doing things. I don't know if they're anything that I plan on watching. No, probably not. He's in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, which I've heard is kind of cool. He was he's in the Bare Naked Ladies video Pinch Me from 2000. There's a deep cut. And he's in a Britney Spears video, and he was just very much like of that time. And like my wife, who she knows like Stanley Tucci, because he's in like, I think he's in Devil Wears Prada. He's in like a lot of movies, but she had like kind of forgotten he was an actor because he just does cooking stuff nowadays.
Yeah, he makes aglio e olio on YouTube now. He makes like
his food does
Italian. Yeah, he's got chops for sure, dude.
He had a CNN show, I remember, like, because I think my wife like kind of binged it. It was just kind of like, this is how we make a de pasta, like,
they did the Pete Davidson, like Stanley Tucci. They did the weird Stanley Tucci music videos on SNL.
That's right.
I know I'm gonna be made fun of for making it. Like I don't watch SNL regularly, but I did see the clips of that. Okay. Where I'm like, what the fuck is? Yeah, and
Tucci, he hit that CNN and like every show that does like food, they're all just like, look, you might just see a piece of bread here, but the components of the bread are made by families here. It's just like those shows like that he does, and he but I loved it. First off, he was 100% correct in the movie. Just pull over and grab some diamonds. You're going through a diamond galaxy.
Yeah.
Pull over and snag a diamond. Like, you're already going to microwave Delroy Lindo to death. So you might as well let it be like, I'm just saying, like, I was like, can we stop for a second, get some diamonds?
Or at least
that's the hardest scene for me to watch in the movie, because it's like, to me, that's the most unrealistic part.
Yeah, why are there diamonds?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you
pressure
think
makes
that
diamonds, bro?
If they go into a hollow cavity and they puncture the cavity, wouldn't it like immediately collapse from the pressure?
Big time. Yeah, and
like wouldn't the void be filled immediately? Yeah. Like it took like 3 minutes for shit to start dripping from the ceiling.
Yeah, I'd be like, Hillary, what are you trying to parallel park or something? Why are you banging into shit?
At the
Yeah,
very
what are you-
least, like, okay, we'll sidebar. Let's write it down in our notebooks. Let's record it on our voice recorders, Stanley Tucci. Like, let's fix the core. Then let's go back and start a sick ass diamond mining business
Yeah.
and just flood the market and just monopolize this.
you
shit.
can ethically
And-
source them. You can say no Africans were hurt.
No, you still
Right,
use
you
them. You
sign-
just
Well,
send them to
Delroy Lindos. Delroy
That's true.
Lindos still
Delroy
get
Lind-
for that
one. That's your commercial. One African guy was hurt for these times.
He didn't make it.
Yeah, but he was down. He picked the straw. We filmed it. I think it's Stanley Tucci recorded the straw pulling thing where they were all the same. So I did think that was Alpha drawing the straws and be like, "It's my fucking ship." Okay,
Yeah.
like
That's
yeah,
like the same exact thing that Bruce Willis does in Armageddon.
it's true. It's true.
Um,
Yeah, amazing.
Stanley
Yeah.
Tucci though,
Appreciate
he basically plays the Anthony Fauci character in the movie.
Mhm.
Stanley Fauci, dude.
And-
Stanley Fauci,
Well,
2 C's.
Yeah.
Tony Fauci and Stanley Tucci. I mean, they sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
But he makes Fauci look kind of cool,
He does.
which
he has a redemption
science-
arc. Mhm.
scientists should be like more happy about that. I mean,
Yeah.
he's kind of like a baller.
Yeah,
Like,
because
the guy comes up to him, he's like, "Yo, can you read this paper?" And the guy's like, "Do you have any fucking idea who I am? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna read some like no, yeah, like." Do you have
doesn't-
25 grand? I'm not going to read this paper.
doesn't he start to sign it like an autograph? And he's like, "No, I want you to
I
fucking
love
read
that.
it."
That was funny. I know. I thought that was great. I
Yeah.
thought, I thought that was so funny. Like the
That's like me going up to Andy Reid being like, "Dude, we got a cover 2 beater right here. If we just run this in the third
Yeah.
quarter, we're gonna be up 14 points." Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
just-
like bundle Rooski, and then
Yeah.
just signs it. Yeah, just fucking
And the-
yeah.
Then like they bring in Aaron Eckhart to brief like the military guys.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, well, Stanley Tucci's character, he's already told us that you made some contribution to his like discoveries." But Aaron Eckhart is the one who like found the entire problem in the first place.
yeah, yeah.
And Aaron Eckhart walks in, he's like, "Wow, that's really generous of him to do that." Like the Fauci character has just kind of like claimed that he's the one that figured out the world is fucked up and why. But his response to the guy saying, "Wow, that's really generous," is like, "Oh, science is a selfless profession,
Yeah.
dear boy." Like,
yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
know. It just,
love that.
Yeah, he's
Rules-
a baller. He's like got a crazy ego. But
selfless
he's
for
kinda
thee,
funny.
but not for me, kind of. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah, and I love when the big reveal that they were the ones that fucked with the core, to begin with, because
Yeah,
they were the technology. I like when he's like, when our enemy, wanted him to say a country, like, but they didn't. And I know why. I mean, yeah, because what would you say at the time? Would you say Iraq?
I just
'Cause
assumed it
nobody-
was like Russia, honestly.
Yeah.
Even though back then probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, because I can't see like Iraq being like, let's go to the core. Like, that doesn't sound. That sounds it's a very Russian or Chinese thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Chinese people for sure want to go to this.
What did we all say?
digging
when
to
we-
China?
Yeah,
Digging to
Iraq's
China?
That's what
They
I'm
were
saying. What
trying
did we
to
say when we
air
were
conditioning.
kids? Dig a
Yeah,
hole of China, right?
Digging
Yeah.
a hole to China back in the day. That's
Yeah.
that's old school shit. But yeah, like that
Yep.
was yeah, like I was wondering like who was it? Like who like why did you guys come up with it? And, but also you can also flip it around and being like, it's bullshit. They just did it. Like there was no enemy that was going to do it. It was they're going off of some stupid intel that they can say like, oh, we had a whistleblower tell us that, country X was going to go to the core and mess with it. And we decided to do it first when really it was like, actually, I have endless money to create this sick ass fucking thing. Oh, shit. It ruins. What I was doing wasn't, it's Wuhan shit. Like, like fucking Fort Detrick, whatever you believe in. Like these scientific playground, endless money playground things, like they do sometimes, like everybody clowns like Boston Robotics, you know what I mean, like where it's like the robot, and that really skinny robot with like a Hawaiian shirt, Kirkland Hawaiian shirt on, like, and you're like, okay, that's probably stupid. And there's a lot of people who will be like, Boston Robotics is actually kind of like retarded, and they're constantly just making videos in like scramble mode to keep the grant money coming in, and none of those you're not going to get like iRobot shit. Like that's not going to happen. But for a lot of this stuff, like kind of just funding forever science, like that's not banal. That's not just like nothing, like we've seen in 2020 what that does.
Yeah.
Well, they had the deliberation whether to use the weapon that
Mhm.
messed up the core to try to fix it, which is like a 1-to-1 comparison of like gain of function and mRNA shit. It's like,
Sure.
well, the spike protein is what's killing everyone, so let's do a virus with the spike protein, or a
Yeah.
vaccine with the spike protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this thing that destroyed the core of the earth has destroyed the core of the earth, but like what if we just shoot it at the core of the earth again? Because like that could probably fix it, right?
Insane.
The problem is the solution.
Damn. Did we shoot the fucking core? Damn, we shot spike protein at our cores and it enlarged our cores.
Yeah. It's crazy
Damn.
that COVID is so obvious. And who knows, like there's like
Yeah.
different degrees of, some people are like it was 100% predetermined, like Project 201, Event 201 stuff, and like, hey, I can't fault anyone for believing that. I don't know where exactly I stand. But
Mhm.
that there are all these articles. It was really an mRNA thing, years and years before, 2016, 2017, Moderna, all these things, and so many people had like all these, options that were expiring, and like just all this financialization of Moderna and Pfizer and stuff. So it was literally just like everyone had to make their money back, and that's why the whole thing went down the way it did. And it had very little to do with the disease itself or people dying from respiratory COVID or whatever. It was just all about making a fuck ton of money back on government contracts, which I think is just so funny and something that you think a leftist might be concerned about, but they never are. I don't know. It's just very interesting how the cookie crumbles. Yeah.
Well, the
But
people now that are coming out, like you sent me something the other day, so I like the people that are like still like COVID was a huge success. Like we like in 2025, I had to check the date. I thought this shit was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then like there's just people who still don't want to be seen as anti-vax, still don't want to be seen by this, despite those terms being, I don't even think the term anti-vax is bad, to be honest, but I know that I understand the stigma that comes with it. And I understand people say, well, I just have a few questions. I'm not saying mark of the beast,
for sure.
That stuff. Like I understand that. Or like even climate skeptic, like somebody just going like, wait, so when's the world ending? Why is the Pacific? Why did nobody sell the beachfront property? All the celebrities that had beachfront property that were doing climate change commercial, why did they not sell that? Like why are these things happening? Like those skeptics get lumped in with people who, tinfoil all over my house and stuff, like, whatever. And I don't know. I think it's I think there's a lot of people that still want to be seen as like a normie, and it's like, dude, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Go out normal life for like with people that like aren't like-minded with you, or like go out and have some drinks with your friends. And you can tell everybody's scared to like say a certain thing a lot of times. That didn't used to be the case. So if you're hell-bent on this, like being, there better be a lot of money in you being normal, because otherwise it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. So, I mean, any other thoughts about the core, guys? I loved it.
Kamala core, dude. Yeah,
Kamala
the core. No, just kidding.
Ben and Jerry's core.
Yeah.
Remember the ice cream with the they had the core in the middle of it? I was thinking about that a lot.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's would
Rare
not
core.
like this rare core. Yeah.
Rare core. Yeah. Candy cord. Yeah. Just
candy
core.
Yeah, I could see that. But I was thinking about Ben and Jerry's. They would actually hate this movie despite making ice cream flavors that resemble structure wise. Because I think Ben Cohn.
Ben Cohn.
I think Ben Cohn hates. I don't know why that's funny. It's not that funny, but
it's funny. Yeah, go ahead.
His name's Cohen, but
Cohen.
usually, like, because you know how like when like this is kind of I don't want to take this to this route, but like there's people who like Mark Cuban, right? Like Mark Cuban's name is like something Jewish. It's not Mark Cuban. So
Yeah.
people go like, why'd you change your name, Mark? Like people
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, I
like,
gotcha.
if
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Ben Cohen, I would legally change my name to Ben Cohen
Yeah.
and let people go, why'd you change your name, Ben? He's
Yeah,
well,
like Savannah
because of ice
Bananas
cream.
owner or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
But
Ben
he
Cohn,
would-
and
he
it's
would
also
hate
funny
you.
that Ben Cohn has like a episode with Tucker Carlson. Dude, I love that, dude. He's like, yeah, it's not bad. It's not like a horrible episode.
I know. But
yeah,
what,
it's
then
kinda
wasn't one
funny.
of them freaking out on RFK? Like,
Yeah, for
literally
sure.
in person. Was it the same guy?
Oh yeah, no, it was, and it was at the fucking hearings. It was at the
good
ones
one,
that
the one where he was
yeah.
killing it. Yeah,
No, as far
Yeah.
as I can
Trying to
tell,
get
like
rid of
Ben
all
and
their
Jerry's,
ingredients.
he's trying. Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
really. That's what it was about, and that's the
Corn-
thing. Like,
dude, corn
like,
syrup solids, dude. Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah,
It's
they're
in
like,
there.
do you think that we
Yeah.
can get the Ava DuVernay ice cream? Do you think that happens without fucking seed oils, man?
No, I mean, dude, honestly, Ben and Jerry's is like stolen valor from hippies shit because it's like
Yeah.
it's not like they have good ingredients. It's just they got like clouds on their logo, and everyone's like, "Oh, sick!" Dude. So,
Yeah.
it's-
I mean, I've eaten a pie or two.
Oh,
in
dude.
my
Oh,
lifetime.
I think we got some right now, dude. I think
Yeah.
yeah, fucking, yeah.
The Tonight
Yeah.
Dough was one of my favorite.
I hate to say it too because it's Colbert, but American Dream.
Americone Dream, yeah,
goes so
yeah.
hard.
AmeriCorps
That is-
dream.
AmeriCorps Dream.
Yeah,
Peace
that's
Corps,
great.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah, the
there
Peace
you-
Corps. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I wonder what these actors think about this movie because like they were doing an $85 million movie at the time. Like that's a lot of money. Like I wonder,
What's the
like, do
check?
they
Dude?
look
What's the
like-
Harvey Dent check, dude? You know, like
it's nothing in residuals. This movie did not make money. So like,
Yeah.
like what I mean is like, did you
Not
take a
yet.
job? This,
Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart checks his base banking account, and he's just like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" Yeah,
You need
He's
to
like,
make it's like a cult class. It's not even a cult classic. It sucks, dude. Yeah,
I know he's gonna look at it and go like, Aaron Eckhart's gonna be like, "Dude, my fucking finances doubled last night. What happened?" Dude,
Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart's from Cupertino, California.
Yeah, he's Cupertino, bro. Yeah, straight
Let's
Apple,
go,
dude.
dude.
Apple campus,
Oh,
dude. Yeah,
I
him and
love
James
this.
James Franco too, right? It was like,
Dude,
Yeah.
I did not. Dude, he went from Cupertino to BYU. That's interesting.
yeah.
He's
Did he try and walk on? Did he play any like tailback or anything? You know,
Nah,
Is
dude, he was no. Aaron Eckhart walked on to the Mormon themed film Godly Sorrow.
Damn.
That's what he did at BYU.
He was a cheerleader, probably.
Everybody who remembers that, yeah, he's a soaker.
Yeah.
Soaker, yeah, he was. Yeah, dude. First off, that's sick that he's from there. But yeah, I was just trying to see like what he's doing. Yeah, I remember because he was in Paycheck, which is a pretty bad adaptation of a great Philip K. Dick story that I believe we covered on here. But yeah, he's doing a bunch of shit. Like he's in movies, but I'm just like, I haven't seen any of these, man. So he's did he say something he shouldn't have said in like 2016? That's what his filmography looks like now that he brought those Mormon social beliefs to light or something. Yeah. No, it doesn't look like it. Nothing. Very short personal life thing. He said he took hypnosis to help him quit drinking. So that's cool. And yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, but anyways, Aaron Eckhart's going to be in. The way this works, whenever we talk about something, he's going to be in the news like tomorrow. I don't know for what, but he's going to be in the news tomorrow. And Hillary Swank was married to Rob Lowe's brother. That was another thing I saw. And they got divorced, and I think she had like a baby at like 45, probably through a surrogate, I would imagine. Everybody else, I think Stanley Tucci might have won out of all the people in that movie because he's still rolling. Like
Now he's like New York Times cooking, bro. You know, he's
Yeah,
just like a pure-
still in,
yeah,
movies,
like-
still in movies where he puts the Where's Waldo glasses on his bald head, and he just is
Yeah.
like, and he's just like, oh, what? That's just what he
Yeah.
does now in movies.
Did Hillary Swank? Did she win Best Actress for $1 Million Baby? Because that was the year after this movie came out.
I think
Just-
Clint won for best supporting, which is it's hilarious because it's like it's literally no different than any other fucking Clint Eastwood role ever. Which you're talking to his biggest fan, actual biggest fan. Don't care what any fucking fake ass Twitter account says. I'll watermark that take. But yeah, Hillary Swank. Did she actually win? I remember that movie being huge. Swank. Hillary Clinton came up when I typed that in. Obviously she's in Boys Don't Cry. That's definitely that's an interesting movie. Yeah, did she win? I don't know. Did she win Hillary Swank Oscar? I'm not sure. But there was a movie I saw her in, a Western, where she like hung herself, lynched, I guess. But she like hung herself, and the movie sucked after that. It was with Tommy Lee Jones. It was kind of like a quirky, like, it wasn't Coen Brothers, but it was like Coen Brothers core. Yeah, it was odd. Yeah, does she have any Oscar wins? Let's see. Hillary Swank.
Westerns are kind of trash, I think.
They are.
It was just like, stop making them, please.
And they have to, and it was a Tommy Lee Jones like made it, like, because it was like, and Tommy Lee Jones is an absolute bro. Like, I love like the stuff that he, finances and stuff. Like, he was big in getting like Cormac McCarthy stuff made and all that. But yeah, no, she won just 2. Yeah, you're right. So she did win for $1 Million Baby, and then she won in Boys Don't Cry, where she played a transgender man. It's not how that character was fucking described. It was a girl wearing denim and her hair tied back so she could fit in with guys. But she was a transgender man. She was FTM in that. But yeah, so that's the cast of the core, guys. So it was a very 2003 cast. Damn, dude, fuck, I'm stoked off Aaron Eckhart being a Bay Area, being a 408
Cupertino, dude. Yeah,
being a 408 area code guy. I love that.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, guys? Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode, Mr. Truther.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. No, I love the pod, and thanks for having me on.
We gotta do another, I don't know, something about the
2003 movie, dude. 2000. Well, if the Bills win the Super Bowl, if the Bills win the Super Bowl, we have to have you on, because you have to apologize to your coach.
Sure. Actually, I would prefer that they just don't.
Damn.
Yeah, it's that bad, but
whoa.
I mean, we always
crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
Is Josh Allen window closed for Josh Allen? We always talk about him getting traded to the Raiders. We're just like, God, that'd be such a fantasy.
It's the only hope I have is this.
I would love that, dude. I would love
the science doesn't add up. Yeah. NPR debunked my science on that. Trade. It will never happen. But
never.
Yeah. No, because Josh Allen married the Sinner's girl, and then all of a sudden he's like has that quote where he's like, "Yeah, football's not everything." I was like, dude, don't start doing this.
I'm more than a football player.
Yeah, no, you're not actually.
Like, dude,
you're fucking
get
not.
a trophy first, please.
Yeah, a lot of things click once I saw Sinners, because I didn't really know her as an actress. And I was like, oh, okay. When everyone always talked, they're like, oh my God, he's so lucky. He's married.
The performative, like, your wife's more talented than you. It's like, she can't throw a fucking pass like you. You're a football analyst saying that. You fucking idiot. Yeah.
Once I watched Sinners, it all kind of clicked into place.
Yeah,
I was like, Josh Allen.
Goodness.
God damn it. Yeah.
I know. I know. We need a Josh Allen MGTOW arc after that fails.
We need to.
just like
he got groomed by Stephon Diggs. That's my story.
That's true. That's true.
No one is immune. No one's immune.
Now he will take down a division rival, Drake May, if that is true. Stephon Diggs and Drake May.
It's gonna take like 3 years, but it'll happen.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Drake May's like twerking, and you're like, oh no.
Drake gay, dude. Yeah,
Drake Gay. Yeah. That's it's like Marvin Gaye. Yeah. With an E. But well, guys, we do have another sponsored episode coming up next week. We're covering Metallica, which I'm very excited about. We're doing that with our buddy Jack for that. It's always, the music episodes with him, you can't really beat those. And so yeah, go to rcnow.org. If you have an idea and you're like, I don't know what this is going to be, just hit me up. rarecandyindustries@gmail.com. So far, fucking 3 for 3. Nobody's tortured us yet. You can. I feel like it's better when we like it, but I guess there's some people that are like, oh no, actually I prefer if you don't like it, you sickos. But some movie, this movie, you said you're like, you might not like it. As soon as I put it on, I was like, as soon as I saw the little London typed in on the side, I was like, yes, I love movies that do that, where they just type out cities on the screen. And so I'm super into that. So on that note, guys, Everybody have a safe week, and we will catch you guys next time.